Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to another episode of What's on the Playlist today. Today, we're talking about the album Licensed Ill by the Beastie Boys, an image of which you will see here. I have the unfolded album on the screen behind me. Beastie Boys is a rap hip hop band out of New York. They were originally a punk rock band, but some members left, new members came in. They had some success with a hip-hop comedy song, local success, called Cookie Puss, I think. And then they made the complete transition to hip-hop and changed their name to the Beastie Boys. With one member of the band leaving when they did the full transition to hip-hop. They toured with Madonna for the Virgin Tour in 1985, and then later that year began recording what will become Licensed to Ill. It was the first rap album to break the Billboard Top 100. It was one of the fastest selling debut albums of all time, hip-hop and otherwise, especially for the movie studio. I mean, not movie studio, the recording studio, sorry. Despite its popularity and success, Licensed to Ill was the only record that Beastie Boys recorded with Def Jam due to disputes with, what's his name, Rubin. Can't remember his full name. His last name's Rubin, but the producer Rubin. I know that King, the guitar player for the band called Slayer, makes an appearance on a couple songs in the album. I think No Sleep Till Brooklyn is one of them. Also makes an appearance in some of their a couple of their videos, the songs that he plays guitar on, because Rubin was producing both Slayer and Beastie Boys simultaneously, and Slayer came out with their own album later that year, but that's a Slayer story. Did I mention this already? I don't remember. I'm going to say it again if I forget. But Beastie Boys originally wanted the title of this album to be Don't Be a Faggot, which Columbia Records refused to release an album with that title. Gee, I wonder why. Even in 1985, that was considered a bad idea, although maybe not necessarily for the same reasons. Not sure if it's because they thought it was homophobic or they just thought people wouldn't buy an album. They just didn't want to say anything offensive. This is also, interesting enough, one of the few Jewish rap bands, which I did not know about until I started looking into stuff about the album. The album cover itself is supposed to be reminiscent of, it's a Boeing 747 with their logo on the tail, but the front of it looks like crashing into a mountain, looks like a stamped out, meant to look like a stamped out joint. This album was wildly popular in 85 and 86 when it was released. This is not my style of music. If you've looked at any of my other stuff I've covered, I am not really much of a rap fan. It doesn't mean I despise the genre or anything. It's just, it doesn't necessarily speak to me. Myself not being someone who grew up in the inner city with the same problems. I grew up in the country. But this album was all over the place during 86. And I don't know why, it was just fun to listen to. I think one of the things that interested me in the album is that you could tell these guys didn't really take themselves seriously. A lot of the rap music I had heard up to that point was very serious. You know, these guys had something to say and they were going to say it. And I have no problem with that. But like I said, what they were saying didn't really kind of resonate with me. They came from a completely different background. They were talking about things which I didn't have any experience with. You know, their life experiences did not match mine in any way, shape, or form. And my musical interests are more along the lines of, acoustic guitar and vocal harmony. Two things which rap does not have. So, my interest in certain genres of music, are sparse. I don't have a lot of rap music in my music collection. Beastie Boys is one of the few rap things that I do have. I think it helps that one, they don't take themselves very seriously. That appeals to me, you know, that sense of humor, the ability to kind of like look at a situation and just, we're just having a goof here. I don't know how serious they were about their music, but they just look like a bunch of guys having fun. This is also a good album for, you know, angry young men. And I was not necessarily an angry young man, but I had, you know, late teens, early 20s. I had the energy and the enthusiasm that young men have. You know, I wanted to get up and do stuff, stomp my feet, make some noise. This album did that for me. I do want to talk about how the fact that rap music, a genre invented by poor inner city black people, and the best-selling album that has ever come out of that genre, the highest grossing and fastest-selling album to come out of that genre, is by 3 Jewish white guys. I don't know if they're all Jewish, but it's a white guy stealing from black people again. And unlike some other forms of music, I don't think Beastie Boys did that intentionally. I'm not even sure the record industry did it intentionally. They might have. The record industry sucks. Columbia Records may have been more comfortable promoting this stuff on the air as opposed to some stuff by an angry young black man. They may have felt this was safer. I don't know. But knowing music history like I do, how jazz and the blues and rock and roll was all stolen from black people, and the black artists were ignored and shoved under to promote white artists instead. It's possible it happened with rap, or at least with this album. I don't think it was done with the. I don't think any of that was done. That theft of black music by the music industry was done with the express knowledge and permission and enthusiastic support of the artists themselves. I know the Beatles tried to push the black artists who had inspired them. You know, they really did say, you know, if you like our music, here are the bands we liked, and the recording industry and the media and, you know, the television and radio in general would just say, no, we don't care about the people that inspired you. We just want to listen to you four young white guys. So the record industry sucks. I also want to say this is I know I've mentioned it with one of the other albums I covered. This is one of the oldest CDs I own. Boston, I think, was the other one, because I know I've mentioned them. When I bought these albums, this few CDs, I don't know which order I bought them in, but I do know the first 5 or 6 CDs that I purchased. This being one of them. Our roommate at the time had a CD player, and I did not. And he lived with me like over a year. It's like, well, he's got a CD player, I might as well start buying some CDs. Then when he moved out, I had to buy my own CD player. But yeah, this is from the faded and dust encrusted grooves on the cover, one of the oldest CDs I own. This thing is this thing was purchased new in 1986. It's 2024, almost 2025. This album's like 38 years. This CD, this physical copy, is 38 years old. Damn, I'm old. But this is a fun as hell album. I don't know if it's going to appeal to anybody out there. It's just a lot of fun. And these guys are having fun making it. And to me, that counts. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.